Welcome to Fluency Game, the podcast where learning English is simple and clear. My name is Daniel, and today we are going to learn a very important part of the English language, verb tenses. If you want to speak correctly, you need to know how to use verbs in the present, the past, and the future. Many students feel confused about this, but do not worry. Today, you will finally understand how verb tenses work in a very easy way.
And I am Emma. In this episode, we will not use difficult grammar or complicated explanations. We will teach step by step, with simple rules and many examples that make everything easy to understand. In this episode, we will focus on 3 basic verb tenses in English: the simple present, the simple past, and the simple future. These tenses are used to talk about actions in the present, actions that already happened, and actions that will happen. They are the first step to building clear and correct sentences in English. We will explain each tense one by one, with rules and examples, so you can really understand how to use them in real life.
Let's start with the simple present. We use the simple present to talk about habits, routines, general truths, and things that are always true. For example, if I say, I wake up at 7, that is something I do every day. It is part of my routine. So the simple present is used to describe actions that happen regularly, not only one time. The structure is very simple. Subject plus base verb. For example, I work, you study, we play.
Exactly. The simple present is also used when we talk about facts, something that never changes. For example, the sun rises in the east, or water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. These are not actions only in one moment, but they are always true. So remember this rule. We use the simple present for habits and facts. But there is something very important you must know. When we use he, she, or it in the simple present, we add an S to the verb in affirmative sentences. For example, he works, she studies, it rains.
Many students forget this S and make mistakes like he work or she play. But now you know the rule. If the subject is he, she, or it, add S to the verb. Example, I speak English, but she speaks English. Let's give a few more examples so this becomes clear. Listen and pay attention to the structure. I eat breakfast at 8. You watch TV at night. He drives to work. She likes coffee. It smells good. We learn English. They live in Canada.
Great! And here's a small tip before we continue. In the simple present, we do not use am, is, are with actions. These words are only for the verb to be. So do not say, I am eat breakfast, or he is play soccer. That is incorrect. Just use the base verb. I eat breakfast. He plays soccer. Simple and correct. Keep this in mind because it will help you avoid many mistakes.
Now that you understand how to make simple sentences in the simple present, let's learn how to form negative sentences. The negative form is very easy. We use do not or does not before the verb. For I, you, we, and they, we use do not. For he, she, and it, we use does not. Example, I do not like cold weather. We do not work on Sundays. He does not play video games. She does not drive. Notice something important. After does not, the verb goes back to the base form. We do not say he does not plays. We say he does not play. No S after does.
Good point. Now let's talk about questions in the simple present. To make a question, we use do or does at the beginning of the sentence. For example, Do you study English? Do they have a car? Does he work at night? Does she like music? Again, when we use does, the verb stays in the base form. So we say, does he speak English? And not, does he speaks English? Many students make this mistake, so pay close attention. Do, does, plus subject, plus base verb.
Let's practice now with a quick exercise. I will say a sentence, and you will change it to the negative form in your mind. Ready? They live in London. Negative. They do not live in London. Next. She likes pizza. Negative. She does not like pizza. Last one. He works on Saturdays. Negative. He does not work on Saturdays. Great job if you followed.
Now let's practice questions. Listen and think of the correct question. I say, you speak Spanish. Question. Do you speak Spanish? Next. She plays the guitar. Question. Does she play the guitar? Last one. They study every day. Question. Do they study every day? Very good. If you got these right, you already understand how the simple present works in negative and question forms.
Now let's talk about the simple past. We use the simple past to talk about actions that already happened and are finished. These actions can be from yesterday, last week, last year, or even a moment ago. If the action is in the past and is complete, we use the simple past. The structure is also simple. For regular verbs, we add ed at the end of the verb. For example, I work becomes I worked. They play becomes they played. We watch becomes we watched.
That is right. Here are more examples with regular verbs. Listen carefully to how the verb changes. I visited my friend yesterday. We cleaned the house. They opened the window. She started a new job. He walked to school. All these actions are finished. They happened in the past. When you speak in the simple past, you can also use time expressions like yesterday, last night, last week, 2 days ago, in 2010. For example, I studied English last night, or we traveled to Spain 2 years ago.
Now, how do we make negative sentences in the simple past? It is easy. We use did not before the base verb. Just like in the simple present with does not, the verb goes back to the base form. For example, I did not work yesterday. She did not watch TV. They did not walk to school. We did not play soccer. And remember, we do not add ed in negative sentences. We do not say I did not worked. We say I did not work.
And to make questions in the simple past, we also use did at the beginning of the sentence. For example, did you study yesterday? Did she call you? Did they enjoy the trip? Did he cook dinner? Again, the verb stays in the base form, so avoid saying, did she called? Or did they enjoyed? Correct form, did she call? Did they enjoy?
Let's do a quick practice. I will say a sentence and you change it to the past in your mind. Ready? I walked to school. Past, I walked to school. Next, they cleaned the room. Past, they cleaned the room. Next, she visits her parents. Past, she visited her parents. Good. Now, negative practice. He played soccer. Negative, he did not play soccer. Next, we watched the movie. Negative, we did not watch the movie.
Excellent. You are doing great. In the next part, we will continue with the simple past, but now we will talk about irregular verbs, which are very common in English and do not follow the ed rule.
Now let's continue with the simple past, but this time we will talk about irregular verbs. These verbs are very common in English, and you must learn them because they do not follow a rule. They do not use ed in the past. For example, the verb go in the past becomes went, not good. The verb have becomes had, not haved. So irregular verbs must be memorized. But do not worry, we will use many examples so you can learn them naturally.
Let's listen to some common irregular verbs in the past. Go, went. I went to school yesterday. Have, had. She had breakfast this morning. See, saw. We saw a movie last night. Buy, bought. He bought a new phone. Come, came. They came home late. These verbs change completely, and that is why they are called irregular. But the good news is that you will hear them all the time, so you will remember them quickly if you keep practicing.
The negative and question forms with irregular verbs are also easy because they follow the same structure we already learned. For negative sentences, we use did not plus base verb. For example, I did not go to school. She did not have time. They did not see the problem. He did not buy the ticket. Notice that even with irregular verbs, we go back to the base form after did not. So it is always correct to say did not go, never did not went.
For questions, we do the same. We use did plus subject plus base verb. Example, did you go to work? Did she have dinner? Did they see the accident? Did he buy a car? Easy, right? Just remember, we only use the past form in affirmative sentences. In negative and questions, we return to the base form.
Time to practice with a mini exercise. I will say a sentence in the present. You change it to the past using irregular verbs. I go to the gym. Past, I went to the gym. Next, they have a dog. Past, they had a dog. Next, we see the mountains. Past, we saw the mountains. Now, negative practice. She came late. Negative, she did not come late. Next, he bought a laptop. Negative, he did not buy a laptop.
Great work if you followed. The simple past is very important because we often talk about our experiences, what we did yesterday, or what happened in the past. Mastering regular and irregular verbs will help you tell stories and share your life in English. Now that you understand the simple present and simple past, it is time to move to the third tense of today's lesson, the simple future. Ready to continue?
Now let's talk about the simple future. We use the future to talk about actions that will happen later, not now and not in the past. The most common way to speak about the future in English is with will. The structure is very simple. Subject plus will plus base verb. For example, I will study, she will travel, they will call me, we will learn English. You can use the simple future to talk about plans, promises, predictions, or decisions made in the moment of speaking.
Let's look at some examples so it becomes clear. For plans, I will visit my parents next week. For predictions, it will rain tomorrow. For promises, I will help you, or I will call you later. For quick decisions, I am hungry. I will make a sandwich. These are all very natural uses of will. And the best part is that will never changes. It is used with all subjects. We do not add s. We do not change the verb. It stays simple. I will, you will, he will, she will, it will, we will, they will.
Now let's learn how to make negative sentences with the simple future. To say something will not happen, we simply say will not or won't. Both mean the same. For example, I will not work tomorrow, or I won't work tomorrow. She won't play today. They will not travel this year. He won't eat pizza tonight. Very easy, right? Just add will not or won't before the base verb.
And now, how do we ask questions in the simple future? Also easy. Just put will at the beginning of the sentence. For example, will you study tonight? Will she come with us? Will they arrive on time? Will it be cold tomorrow? So remember this structure: will plus subject plus base verb plus question. That is the correct way to ask questions about the future.
Before we finish this part, let's do a quick practice together. I will say a present sentence, and you change it to the future in your mind. Ready? I study English. Future, I will study English. Next, they travel to Brazil. Future, they will travel to Brazil. One more. She cooks dinner. Future, she will cook dinner. Good. Now practice with negative. He will play soccer. Negative, he will not play soccer, or he won't play soccer. Next, we will watch a movie. Negative, we won't watch a movie. Excellent! You now understand how to form sentences in the simple present, simple past, and simple future. In the next part, we will put everything together with examples and comparisons, so you can really see the difference between the three tenses. This will help you think faster and speak more clearly.
Great. Now let's connect everything you learned in today's episode. We will compare the simple present, simple past, and simple future, so you can clearly understand the difference between them. These three tenses work like a timeline. The simple present talks about what you do now or regularly. The simple past talks about actions that happened before and are finished. The simple future talks about what will happen later. So you can think like this: present is now, past is before, future is next. Let's use one example to compare the three tenses. Listen carefully. Simple present, I work every day. Simple past, I worked yesterday. Future, I will work tomorrow. Same verb, but different time. Here's another one. Simple present, she travels every year. Simple past, she traveled last year. Simple future, she will travel next year. These examples show how verbs change based on time.
Let's do more comparisons with different subjects and verbs. Simple present, they play soccer on Sundays. Simple past, they played soccer last Sunday. Simple future, they will play soccer next Sunday. Another example. Simple present, he studies English. Simple past, he studied English last night. Simple future, he will study English tomorrow. When you practice like this, it becomes easier to choose the right tense when speaking.
Now let's do a short exercise together. I will give a sentence in the present, and you will think about the past and future forms. Ready? I eat breakfast at 8. Past, I ate breakfast at 8. Future, I will eat breakfast at 8. Next, we go to school. Past, we went to school. Future, we will go to school. Next, she has a dog. Past, she had a dog. Future, she will have a dog. Perfect. You are doing great if you got these right.
Before we finish, here is a very important tip. When you are not sure which tense to use, think about time words. They will guide you. For example, every day, always, usually are clues for simple present. Yesterday, last night, 2 days ago are clues for simple past. Tomorrow, next week, in the future are clues for simple future. If you pay attention to time words, you will choose the correct tense more easily.
Now you understand how to build sentences in the 3 most important tenses in English. With only these 3, you can already communicate most of your ideas. In the final part of this episode, we will make a short review and a practice challenge so you can test what you learned today.
Before we end today's episode, let's review what you learned. You now understand how to talk about actions in the present using the simple present, actions in the past using the simple past, and actions in the future using the simple future. These 3 tenses are the foundation of English. If you practice them every day, you will start forming natural sentences faster and with more confidence.
Now here is your challenge. We will say some time expressions, and you will think of a correct sentence using the right tense. Do not worry if you cannot speak out loud. Just think in English. Ready? Yesterday. You could say, I watched a movie yesterday. That is simple past. Next, every morning. You could say, I drink coffee every morning. Simple present. Next, tomorrow. You could say, I will study tomorrow. Simple future.
Now it's your turn. Think of your own examples. Use your life. Say one sentence in the present, one in the past, and one in the future. For example, I study English every day. I studied last night. I will study tomorrow. This simple exercise is very powerful. If you repeat it every day, your English will improve fast.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Fluency Game. In the next episode, we will continue learning verb tenses and build longer sentences with more details. Do not miss it. Make sure to follow this podcast and practice with us every day. Your fluency is built step by step. Keep going.
Great work today. Keep practicing and remember, English is not difficult when you learn the right way. See you in the next episode.